the Buffalo Bills are getting so much hype this year. Josh Allen, leading candidate to win the MVP. I think the Bills may be the outright
Odds on
favorite to win the
favorites.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl. So it's like all this is pointing to the Buffalo Bills. It's kind of funny because I was living through this 2 years ago with the Baltimore Ravens. And it's like,
Right.
because it's a team where like not a lot of media attention goes there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it seems like everyone is going to force, oh, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. They do that with every young quarterback. Like, even the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, I think, is wildly underrated now because everyone just they find their young guy and then they move on to the next young guy to just build them up as high as possible. And I think Josh Allen and Herbert are those guys where like the expectation is, if either of those guys don't win MVP, I don't know if we're talking about them next offseason. No matter, I mean, Josh Allen could go out there, throw for 4,900 yards, be the 1 seed in the AFC, lose in the AFC championship game, and they would be like,
he's in the doghouse.
It's just not, he's not the guy we thought he was. And it's like, what do you mean?
Right.
4,900, like the numbers that he's going to put up are going to be unbelievable, but the media is just going to push it aside unless they win that Super Bowl. Is that hype? Is that a bad thing for a team?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head that like the way the media cycle runs now with these players is vicious. It's absolutely vicious. And even I'm the biggest Josh Allen fan you'll find, and I see people putting him QB1 above Mahomes or above Rodgers, above Brady, and it's like, let's pump the brakes a little. Like I love him to death. He's got every tool that he needs to be, great, but he still needs to prove himself. He still needs to get there. He still needs to win there, and so I don't know if it's bad per se. Like I do think the Bills just baked in have that chip on their shoulder from the years and years and years and years of turmoil that the Bills have been through. But that being said, yeah, it worries me a little how much hype is surrounding this team and Josh Allen in particular. But I am hoping that they maintain that, sort of underdog mentality and really, try to keep the noise out and focus on taking it one game at a time and winning football games,
Yeah, because I think the national media, the way they try and do everything right now is a situation where they're like, hey, we need to find the next whatever. If it's the NBA, find the next LeBron, find the next Kobe, find the next Steph Curry. In the NFL, it's find the next, now kind of, Patrick Mahomes, but find the next dynasty. We've had a team and a quarterback dominate the AFC for the last 20 years in the New England Patriots. And now we're in a situation where I think there's kind of 4, 5, maybe 6 teams that are really trying to be like, hey, we're the next Patriots. You have the Bills. All these teams have great young quarterbacks. You have the Bills. You have the Chiefs, who have actually won the Super Bowl. You have the Ravens and the Bengals. And I would say like maybe the Chargers and the Broncos you could throw in there. They haven't had the postseason success, but Broncos adding in Russell Wilson, maybe they'll be able to get there. All of these teams are trying to do it. And it's like, they're going to be torn down if they don't become the Patriots dynasty. I feel like no matter what, it's very okay if, I'm fine with it. I hated the Patriots dynasty because it was so annoying.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
You had to play them twice a year. That must have been even worse.
Yeah.
But like, if it's a situation where it's like, oh yeah, in a 12-year span of all those young quarterbacks' careers, it was Mahomes got to 3, Allen got to 2, Lamar got to 1, Burrow got to 1, Herbert got to 2, Russ got to 1. It's like, wow, look at that. That's fine. That was the NFC. Let the NFC be the league that where maybe Trey Lance in San Francisco really works and they become, maybe it's not 20 years, but 7 years in a row where it's like, wow, they are the best team because we haven't had when was the last time we had, obviously it was the Patriots dynasty, but like years where it was like, yep, they're the best team. They're the best team. They're the best team. They're the best team. They're the team to beat. It changes every year now that Tom Brady is gone to the NFC and he's just older where now it's like, okay, Brady or the Rams or whatever. I don't know if they're ever going to replace it, and I think that's bad for all these young quarterbacks because the media is just going to destroy. They already destroyed Mahomes. I'm like, Mahomes has been to 2 Super Bowls and he's super young. It's ridiculous.
No, I completely agree. And yeah, I feel like in today's paradigm, I don't know what it is that's changed to make this be the case. Maybe just more talent in general, but yeah, I don't see how a team could replicate that sort of run in this paradigm that we're in now. You know, there's just too many good teams. There's just too many good quarterbacks. There's too many great defenses. To where, yeah, I think you're definitely seeing more parity, which I think is a good thing. And I think once I mean, and also we're kind of in this shift where we're at like the beginning of a lot of these young players, young quarterbacks' careers, and so people are projecting and holding them to the same standard as a Brady or a Manning or something like that, and we have to see how it plays out, and also, yeah, I think it's a good thing if it's someone new every year, someone, always someone new vying for. I mean, even the Bengals last year. Obviously, I was disappointed that it wasn't the Bills, but what an awesome run they went on. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's only good for the sport. It's only good for the league, and but yeah, it is interesting, like the fallout from the Brady era, and like whether that could even happen again, or yeah.
It's the Brady era is so the difficult part to replicate is it wasn't all about just him playing and being really good. It was he married one of the richest supermodels in the world and is able to take pay cuts.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I'm sorry, Alex, but the AFC East was horrible, and the quarterbacks, they had no good quarterbacks that he ever had to go against. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing for every team in that division.
Dude, seriously. Literally from the year I was born, 2001, that's when Brady won his first Super Bowl. Yeah. And then he won his last Super Bowl 2020. So, like, my entire life has been on that timeline. So,
and like trying to think back, I always love looking at it. Like, who's the best quarterback that played in that division outside of Brady? And it's like, and I believe Flacco. Early in the career, it was, I think the Colts were in that division for like a couple of years. It was Brady and Manning.
Yes.
And then it was like, oh no, we're going to move it. And it was like, oh no. And then Manning got kind of shafted because they were like, hey, you got to go up against, much better teams,
well, and that was part of that was part of Brady's success, was how crappy the AFC East was. So,
the new rule of the first round bye, you got to be the 1 seed now. Mm-hmm. That's even more difficult because it was first round bye every year because they went 6-0 in the division, and then they won 3 playoff games.
Exactly,
2 at home, and it was like
just like clockwork. Yeah, no, it's yeah, I'm definitely glad to be on the back end of that. And yeah, so hopefully the Bills can get one here, take advantage of the shift in power. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's a whole new world in the NFL. I'm here for it.